Hello friends, my name is Chinmay Deshpande. In this video lecture, we are going to discuss about DC machine working principle. Already we discussed that what is the difference between generator and the motor. Now the electric motor which is operated by a DC is called as simply DC motor. This is a device which will convert whatever electrical energy into a mechanical energy. Now what is the principal operation of a DC motor? Now we know that whenever a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, it experiences a force or it experiences a torque. And because of that torque or the force, it has a tendency to move. So therefore, in other words, we also can say that whenever a magnetic field and an electric field gets interact with each other, a mechanical force gets generated. The DC motor or the direct current motor works on this principle. That principle is called as motoring action. So it works with the help of left hand rule. That also we discussed in the previous video lecture. So this is what is a diagram which shows you that input is the electrical one and output is a mechanical one. So this is what is a basic function of any machine. Now let's discuss DC generator principal operation. Now energy conservation or say energy conversion is based on Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. What that Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction states that whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux which is linked with the coil, then an electromotive, that is EMF force, is induced. Now there has to be relative motion between magnetic field or the conductor. Either the conductor has to rotate or conductor has to change its position, magnetic field has to be stationary, or magnetic field gets continuously changed and conductor is to be stationary. So here, whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with a conductor or with a coil, an EMF will get generated. Now let's discuss how it operates. What is the operating principle of a DC generator? Now, let's say, consider a two-dimensional view here. So first is a north pole, second is a south pole. We know that magnetic lines of force will travel from north pole to south pole. So therefore, this is the direction of magnetic lines of force. These are two conductors which are placed, pair of a conductor which is placed in this magnetic field. Now here you will observe that this is what is a flux axis, that is a center line. Now here you will observe that the conductor will start rotating. Why the conductor starts rotating? It is because here the magnetic field is changing and because of that the EMF, that is electromotive force, will be generated. So let's discuss different cases. First one, case 1 is nothing but suppose that conductors are placed in such a way that it creates 0 degree from the flux axis. That is whatever initial position of a conductor we have. So this will be initial position of a conductor. Now we know that the force which will be exerted on the conductor, now that force will be exerted in this way. For this conductor, the force is in upward direction, and but obvious as it is connected, so therefore this conductor it has a force in a downward direction. So in the case 1, force acting on the conductor is a tangential in an upward direction. So this force F will participate in EMF generation as it is a perpendicular to the flux axis. So always remember, whenever force is perpendicular to the flux axis or whenever the conductor cuts the flux axis and if the angle is 90 degree, then only EMF generated will be a maximum here. Now, let's take a second case. Suppose that conductor have a position 45 degree from the flux axis. So this is the flux axis. Now initially this conductor was at this place. So this conductor was at this place. Now the angle which is made with respect to flux axis is a 45 degree. Now what is the force? The force which will be act on the conductor is nothing but like this. This is the force, direction of the force. Now in case 2, the force acting on the conductor is shown here by this arrow. Now this force F has a two components or two forces. We can resolve into two forces. First one is nothing but Fy and second one is nothing but a Fx. So let's consider this conductor. So this is a resultant force. This will be Fy and this will be Fx here. Now whatever force Fy, that is force along y axis, is perpendicular to the field and therefore that force is responsible for a generation of EMF and not a tangential force and not a x-axis force. So therefore, from this diagram, we can say that what is the value of Fy? Fy is nothing but F into cos into theta. This is simple trigonometric case. So therefore, in the first case, when the angle was 0 degree, so put here theta equal to 0. So we will get cos 0 equal to 1. So the value of a force is nothing but a Fy, which will be more. Now when the angle which is made by that conductor with this flux axis is 45 degree, so put here 45, so you will get answer. But that answer of Fy will be but obvious less as compared to that of a first case. So what you observe, whenever the conductor rotates in a clockwise direction from 0 degree to 45 degree, here the force is less compared to that of 0 degree. Now let's take a third case. That third case is nothing but whenever the conductors are placed in such a way that it made the angle 90 degree with respect to flux axis. So this is a flux axis. These are the conductors which are placed exactly at a 90 degree with respect to flux axis. Now this is what is a force which is experienced by the conductor in this direction. For a second conductor, it has this direction. So therefore, again if I resolve this force into two components, Fy and Fx, then here we will observe that in this case, this Fx is a dominant. What is the meaning of that? So this force, that force will be, force on the conductor is because of a Fx. So here Fy will be equal to 0. So here I can write Fy, that is F cos theta equal to 0. So what we will observe? Whenever that conductor makes angle 90 degree with respect to flux axis, so when we put that theta equal to 90 degree, but obvious cos 90 equal to 0, so therefore Fy will be equal to 0 and the resultant force is equal to Fx, that is force along x-axis. So therefore here we have written for a 90 degrees with respect to flux axis, here Fy will be equal to 0. Now let's have another case, that is a case number 4, that is 135 degree from the flux axis. So this is what is the placement of a conductor with respect to a flux axis. So therefore this is a force on one conductor, this will be force on the second conductor. So again if we resolve this into a two components, that is Fy and the Fx, so therefore here you will get that Fy, but that Fy is in a downward direction. So that's why here we have written minus, that is negative sign. So what it indicates, Fy equal to negative means what? If we put here theta equal to 135 degree, then whatever answer of Fy here we will get negative. Now here you will observe that your value of Fy is increasing, but it is increasing in a negative direction. So whatever cases that we have discussed, the conclusion of all these cases is whenever theta is 0 degree, then force will be maximum. When theta is 45 degree, force gets reduced. Then theta equal to 90 degree, force will be 0. When theta equal to 135 degree, then here the force will increase, but it will increase in a negative direction. So therefore, here now you will observe that again, these are the conductors which are placed in the north and south pole. So now let's discuss what is this arrangement. This is what is a slip ring. In the construction also we discussed that what is the role of a commutator. Commutator will convert that AC into DC. But how it converts that AC into DC, let's discuss now. Now, this is the first portion of a slip ring, that is A, which is connected to brush 1. This is a wire which is connected to a load AB. This is blue color wire which is connected to brush 2, and this is a part B or the second part of a slip ring. Now purposefully the color is made in such a way that we will understood this red portion of the slip ring which is connected to red conductor, and this blue portion of the slip ring which is connected to here blue conductor. So what is the terminology that we are going to use here? Red conductor, that is red color conductor, is connected to red slip ring A. Blue color conductor is connected to blue slip ring B. Then brush 1 is always in connection with a slip ring A, and brush 2 is always in connection with a slip ring B. Now let's see here, again we will observe that here the rotation of the conductor is a clockwise direction. Now what is the force which will be act on the red conductor? Suppose this is a red conductor. So the force which will be act on the red conductor is in an upward direction. Similarly, the force which will be act on the blue conductor, it will be in downward direction. Now, let's try to apply a rule and find out the direction of a current. The direction of the current on the red conductor is given by Fleming's right hand rule. So let's try to apply Fleming's right hand rule. Now, this is my right hand. This is a thumb which denotes F. This will be B, that is the first finger. And this is nothing but your middle finger which gives you a direction of a current. So now force, the force is in upward direction. So this will be like this. Then what is your direction of a field? Direction of a field, that is from north to south. So if you apply this particular right hand rule to this screen, then you will be able to understand this. And whatever this middle finger is there, that middle finger indicates that the current is in an inward direction. So how to distinguish that? So that inward direction is denoted by a cross. So this is a force, that is a B, which will be applied from north to south. Sorry, it is a magnetic field. Then after that, this will be force here, which will be acting in an upward direction. So therefore, if you try to apply your right hand rule, then you will be able to see that the direction of the current is inward, and inward direction is always denoted by a cross. Now let's apply again the same rule for a blue color conductor. Now you will observe that here, now the direction of B, that is a field, is not changed. It is in this, that is from left hand to right hand side. The direction of the force, now it is in a downward direction. So therefore, if you apply again right hand rule, then you will be able to understand that the direction of the current is outward, and that outward current direction is always denoted by a dot. So this is what is a cross and a dot convention which is used here for EMF generation. Now let's discuss again. Suppose if I have the same case. Now this cross, what it indicates, and this dot, what we indicate? Already we discussed that. Cross is nothing but what? Cross is nothing but outward, and sorry, cross is inward, and dot is nothing but here outward. So therefore, here you will observe that this is a slip ring. Now understand the current direction, how the direction of a current will be. So already I told you that from the blue conductor, current comes in an outward direction. That blue conductor, already we discussed terminology. That blue conductor is connected to a blue part, that is a slip ring B part. So here, so direction of the current will be from, the current will come out from blue conductor. It will go into a slip ring, that is a B. It will go to a brush 2. After that, it will go from load, and again it will go towards a brush 1. After that, slip ring A, and then it will be given to a conductor, that is red conductor. So this is what is the direction. The current comes out. After that, it reaches to a slip ring B. Then this is what is a brush 2. Then this is what is the direction of a current. So here, if you observe that whatever direction of a current is through a load, then direction of the current through a load is always from B to A in this case. So this is what is the direction of a current that we understood here. Current in a load is from B to A. Now, to the position of the red conductor, this is what is the position of the red conductor. The force which is applied in upward direction, and it will be maximum in upward direction, where we can say that Fy equal to F, which is maximum. So therefore, at this place, always remember that EMF induced will be maximum, because here you will say that the direction with respect to flux axis is a 90 degree direction, or we can say that angle is a 90 degree. And whenever conductor cuts these magnetic lines of force, then only maximum EMF will be generated. Now, let's discuss this case. Now, what happens? As far as the position of a red conductor is considered, whatever force on the conductor, that is red conductor, it is a maximum along the tangent, and which will be in upward direction, that is F equal to Fy. So EMF induced will be more in that case. And always remember that whenever conductor cuts the magnetic field, then only EMF will be generated. That is, angle between the direction of the field and the direction of the conductor must be 90 degree. Now here, again let's take a second example. Now this is what is a cross, and this is a dot. Cross is nothing but inward, dot is nothing but outward. Now as the red conductor moves in a circular path in this clockwise direction, now Fy goes on reducing. Already we discussed all these cases. When theta equal to 0, theta equal to 45, theta equal to 90 degree. We discussed all these cases. And now as the force reduces, the EMF which will be produced or induced, it also goes on reducing. And as EMF reduces, the current magnitude also reduces. It will be shown in the graph. So already we discussed this. For 0 degree, Fy is more because theta equal to 0. So cos 0 equal to 1. Then for 45 degree, value of a Fy is less compared to that of case 1. For 90 degree, value of a Fy equal to 0. So if I try to draw a graph here, so at 0 degree, so this is what is your 0, this is a 0 point. So at 0 point, you will get maximum value of a current. So therefore, it is denoted by point A. Now as we move ahead from 0 to, let's say, suppose at 45 degree, your value of this flux, and same way value of the current also reduces. And let's say, suppose this is a value of a theta, when theta equal to 90 degree, then this axis is nothing but your current. So therefore here you will observe that current or the flux will be equal to 0. So this is what is the first graph that we have drawn here. Now again here we will see that very clearly. This is what is the rotation. At 90 degree, what happens here? Now as far as the red conductor is considered here, the force which is on the conductor at this position is along x-axis. So F equal to Fx, and here Fy will be equal to 0. So therefore, as Fy is 0, EMF which will be induced will be 0, and therefore current is also 0, which is denoted by a point C. So this is a graph. This was the first case when theta equal to 0 degree. This was the second case when theta equal to 45 degree. And this was the third case when theta is equal to 90 degree. So at this place, you will observe that EMF which will be induced is nothing but a 0. So this is a graph which we have shown for a EMF generation. Now, let's see here. Suppose the conductor moves. And now after 90 degree, what happens? Let's say initially, if you see it clearly, initially this is a cross. That is, red conductor is a cross. Cross indicates what? It is inward current. And this dot, blue conductor, it indicates that it is the outward direction of the current. So it starts rotating. And after 90 degree, you will observe that now the cross becomes dot for a red conductor and dot becomes cross for a blue conductor. So why is it so? Because after 90 degree, that is, let's say theta equal to 135 degree. So we discussed in earlier stages also. The direction of the current will be reversed in the red conductor and in a blue conductor. Now, the current through the red is outward, that is a dot. And current through the blue is an inward, which is denoted by a cross. Here, now Fy will be more, but it will be more in a downward direction. So therefore, it will be negative. So EMF will be generated at this place also. But whatever EMF which will be generated, it will be increasing in a negative direction. So therefore, how the graph looks like, this was the initially when theta equal to 0, point A, theta equal to 45, point B, theta equal to 90, point C. Now here you will observe that the angle which is made by this force with respect to this flux axis, it will be more than 90 degree. Let's say suppose 135 degree. So therefore you will get another point which is D, and you will get this graph. So this is a graph from A, B, C and D. Now let's discuss here again. Suppose here in that case, now this is a red conductor, this is a force which will be applied, this will be a blue conductor, cross, and this is a dot. Now what is the current direction? Now from the red conductor, the current will come out because dot indicates it is out. So it will come out. It will be given to a slip ring A. Then the current will flow from brushes 1. So I will show you how the direction of a current is. This is a current which flows from conductor, red conductor. Then it will go into a slip ring A. It will go into brush 1. After that it will come down. Then through a load it will travel, but the direction of the current here is from A to B. Again from B to it will be at brush 2. Then it will be at slip ring B portion or the B part, and it will come to the blue conductor. So this is what is the current direction here. And here if you observe that this direction of a current is exactly opposite to that of a previous case that we discussed earlier. So therefore what we can say that here the direction of the current in the load in this case is from A to B, whereas in the previous case the direction of the current was from B to A. Now the question is here you will arise, as far as the position of the red conductor is considered here, whatever force on the red conductor is maximum along the tangent and it is in a downward direction, that is it is along y-axis. So therefore the force which is developed is equal to Fy, but it will be negative, that is minus Fy, because it is in downward direction. So EMF will be induced here, but whatever EMF which will be induced, it will be maximum, but it has a negative sign. So therefore in a graphical way, here we will see that this is what is the D point. It was the initial point when theta equal to 135 degree. And now when theta equal to, let's say here 180 degree, then you will observe that you will get another point E where there will be a maximum EMF, or in other words we can say that there will be maximum current, but it will be in opposite, exactly opposite direction to that of A. Now at point A, what was the position of the conductor? Red conductor was at left hand side and this blue conductor was at right hand side. But it starts rotating and then it reaches to this position. Now blue conductor is at left hand side, red conductor is at right hand side. So therefore whatever EMF which will be generated at point A and the point E, it will be same, but that EMF have different polarity. At point A, that is when theta equal to 0, it will be positive. And at point E, that is when theta equal to 180 degree, it will be negative, that is maximum negative. Now here whatever current which will be shown in this graph, it is a AC, it is not a DC. And the direction of the current also changes through a load. In the first case it was from B to A, and in the second case it was from A to B. So the direction is changed. Now there will be a question, how to generate here DC? So for that case the slip rings are used to convert this AC into DC, which are made up of conducting cylinder, which is cut into two halves or the segments, let's say A and B. So this is what is a diagram. So these are the two halves, these are the slip rings. This will be brush 1, these are the brushes which are connected to slip rings. The brushes are stationary, so this is A portion and this will be a B portion, and this is a segment. Now these two are insulated from each other with the help of a mica sheet here. These are electrically separate out from each other. So this is what is the exact diagram here. So this is a part A of a slip ring which is connected to a brush 1. Then it is a load A to B, and after that this conductor is connected to, let's say this is a brush 2, and here it will be connected to other part of a slip ring, that is slip ring part B. Now here the terminology is that red conductor is connected to red portion of the slip ring, and here the blue conductor is connected to blue portion of the slip ring. Remember that the brushes will not move, brushes are stationary, only this particular slip ring will rotate. So let's check here how it rotates. Now here the red conductor is connected to red portion of the slip ring, that is A, and this blue conductor is connected to blue portion of the slip ring, that is B. So here you will observe that brushes are stationary. Now how the direction of a current here, it will be same or it will be unidirectional. Then only we can say that it operates in a DC, or otherwise in the previous section we discussed that it gives you AC waveform. So here let's check now. Here assume that the current is flowing around ABCD. So this is A, B, C and D. So this is the first figure which shows that brush 1 is in contact with the segment A, which acts as a suppose positive end of the supply, and whatever brush 2, it is connected to the segment B, which acts as a negative end of the supply. So therefore always we know that current flows from positive to negative. So the direction will be like this, that is from brush 1 to A portion of the slip ring, that is then from B to A to D, D to C. After that C, it will reach to a B portion of the slip ring, then it will reach to brush 2 and then it will travel likewise. So the direction of the current is from L to M, if you observe here. Now let's check. Here suppose after a half revolution of the coil, the direction of an induced current in the coil gets reversed. Then it begins to flow around D, C, B and A. Now the position of the segment B and the segment A is also reversed because that slip ring also rotates. Brushes are fixed. So therefore this one will be what? This is a 1 which is connected, brush 1 which acts as a positive. Now it is connected to a B portion of the slip ring. In the first case it was connected to A portion of the slip ring. Here you will observe that, and the brush 2 is connected to A portion of the slip ring. Now what is the direction of the current? Here the brush 2 is in contact with the segment in which it acts as a negative end of the supply. So therefore what is the direction here? So you will observe that this is what is the direction. So that the direction is remains same. That here you will observe that it is from here, from this side if you observe, it is from L to M. That is from outer side. So the direction is not going to change here. So therefore in this way, whatever AC which is given to the field winding, that AC gets converted into DC. So here you will get this DC. So this is what is a B. B is here we can also write it as a current I. So at 0 degree, then 90 degree, again at 180 degree, likewise the DC current will be produced. So this is what is the operating principle of a DC generator. Thank you.